right, this is the third video for this section. This section's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. So we're going to look at solving equations quadratic in form. What that means is it takes the form of like a regular old x squared minus 6x plus 8. Just a regular old trinomial S&P master product factoring. What multiplies to give me 8 and adds to give me -6. It doesn't even have a number in front of it, so I can just factor it straight up. You kind of have to look at it as if you add 1/4 and 1/4, you get a half. If you add x to the first and x to the first, you get x squared. So what this guy factors into is x minus 4 and x minus 2. So what this one actually factors into is, you look at it as like it's a u, like u to the 1/2 minus 6 u to the 1/4 plus 8 equals 0. And what this guy actually factors into, same as this one, except for, you see where that's an x and that's an x? Well, this is a u to the 1/4. So what that's going to be is u to the 1/4 minus 4 and u to the 1/4 minus 2. And then you sub your x minus 3 back in. And you set them separately equal to 0. It's, she's a little on the tricky side. That's tough. So x minus 3 to the 1/4 equals 4. It's like, are you going to put that on the test? Yes, but it's going to be very super similar to this one here. If you have it as an example, you should be fine. To get rid of to the 1/4, we talked about in the last section, we raise it to the reciprocal. So we're going to raise that to the 4th. So it'd be x minus 3 equals, that's 256. Add the 3. So x is 259. Then this one you would add the 2. So x minus 3 to the 1/4 equals 2. Raise it to the 4th. So x minus 3 equals 16. Add 3. X is 19. So there's my two answers there. So let's look at another one. So this one's a little bit different, but it's the same basic premise. So what we're going to do is move the 3 over. Oh, not like that. Hold on. Sorry. Not like that. Oh my gosh. Minus 3 equals 0. So that's similar to, copy it right, this. Now it does have a number in front, so it's harder. So I'm just going to factor this guy first. So that's -4. 15 times 3 is -45. What multiplies to give me 45 and adds to give me -4? That'd be a -9 and a +5. So if I factor just this guy, 15x squared minus 9x plus 5x minus 3, and I group. So 15 and 9, I can take out a 3x. 3 goes into 15, 5. 3 goes into 9, 3. Plus, I can take a 1. I always have to have something. So it would be 5x minus 3 and 3x plus 1. Set them both separately equal to 0. But actually, I'm going to go ahead and sub it back in. So I'm going to do this one the same, except for, so I'm going to follow this line, but with these exponents, okay? So I would have 15x to the -2 minus 9x to the -1 plus 5x to the -1 minus 3. Group it. When you're grouping like this, you take out the smaller, so it would be 3x to the -1, and that would be 5x to the -1 minus 3 plus 1, 5x to the -1 minus 3. So you got 5x to the -1 minus 3, 3x to the -1 plus 1. And that's why it's very important that you do know how to factor the correct way, because if you can factor basic, you can factor anything. set them both separately equal to 0. So the only thing that changed really is that this was a -1 instead of a 1. Everything else was the same. So you move the 3 over, equals 3, divide by 5. Now, to get rid of a -1 exponent, you raise it to the reciprocal, so -1. So, or you just raise it to the same, and that gives me +1. And what that -1 does is he flips it. It's the inverse. When you raise something to the -1, you essentially just flip that fraction. So here we have 3x to the -1 equals -1, divided by 3. X to the -1 equals 1/3. To get rid of the -1, we just flip it. So it's x equals 3. Oh, -3. I definitely lost a negative. -3. And then the last one is if you have to the 4th, we're going to do it the same way, okay? But I'm just going to straight factor him. So S is -29x squared. P is 18 times 3. Hold on, I already did this earlier. 54. X to the 4th. What multiplies together to give us 54, adds to give us -29. That's -27 and positive, just kidding, -2. But what I do, I'm going to give you another way to do it. Instead of factoring it over to the side, I'm just going to do it with whatever that middle term is, I replace. So I bring down the first one, replace the middle with 27x squared and 2x squared plus 3. I group. I can take out a 9x squared, 9 goes into 18, 2. X squared, 9 goes into 27, 3. I can take a 1. So 2x squared minus 3. So 2x squared minus 3 and 9x squared minus 1. So if I set those separately equal to 0, let me go up here. So 2x squared minus 3 equals 0. 9x squared minus 1 equal to 0. Move the 3 over. So 2x squared equals 3. Divide by 2. So x squared equals 3 over 2. Take the square root. So x equals plus or minus the square root of 3 over the square root of 2. Now, my math lab makes you rationalize your denominator, so a little refresher on that. Plus or minus the square root of 3 times the square root of 2 on the top is the square root of 6. 2 times 2 on the bottom is just 2. So it'd be plus or minus the square root of 6 over 2. Add the 1. And these are all things you should have learned sometime in high school or in a previous math class. So that's going to be plus or minus. The square root of 1 is 1 and the square root of 9 is 3. So you have 4 answers. Please note that if you have a to the 4th, you're going to have 4 answers. All right, and that's where this is going to stop.